Hello, I'm Gus Downing, publisher and editor of the D&D Daily. We're here today with Van Carney, Director of Safety and Loss Prevention for Domino's Pizza, and David Johnston, Director of Loss Prevention and Corporate Security for Dunkin Brands Inc. Domino's operates 10,988 stores in more than 70 countries around the world. 4,986 of those locations are here in the States. They also do over $8.4 billion a year in volume. This franchise-owned organization has about 1,000 independent franchise owners in the U.S., with more than 90% of them starting their careers as drivers or assistant managers. Domino's delivers more than 1 million pizzas a day worldwide. About 40% of Domino's sales in the U.S. come through their digital ordering channels. At the end of 2013, Dunkin Brands, nearly 100% franchise business model, included nearly 11,000 Dunkin' Donuts restaurants and 7,300 Baskin-Robbins restaurants. For the full year 2013, the company had franchise reported sales of approximately $9.3 billion. Dunkin Brands Group is headquartered in Canton, Mass. So between the two, we have over 22,000 stores doing over $17 billion in sales. Now, the Domino's LP program is comprised of 11 people, 4 of which are regionals covering the franchise locations in the field, and a Dunkin Brands team is comprised of 21 individuals, 9 of which are field-based covering franchise locations. So gentlemen, the questions for both of you are real basic, and we'll just put them out there for discussion. How do you deliver LP services to a franchise location when the brand or corporate has no operational control? Van?
Gus, one of the things that we do is based on best practices. We have almost 400 corporate stores throughout the U.S. domestically. And what we will do is we'll roll out test programs, many of which are loss prevention based, in which to try to develop these programs to sell in a way to our franchisees. As an example, just recently we've rolled out a camera analytics program. And we take this camera analytics program, we are trying to make sure that our franchisees understand the value of that, and we try to use that with our exception-based reporting. Coupled with that, we hope that they see that there is some value added to that type of program as an example. In addition to that, we have realigned many of our loss prevention professionals to where now we have them placed in different regions handling nothing but franchise issues, which has been a very successful program. And they're dedicated to just our franchise business and no longer our corporate stores.
So is it more of a consultant's role that they're delivering?
It is. And as you well know, with being a consultant, it's a sales job every single day to try to make sure that they understand the value that we're bringing, because we have to make sure that when they pay in their royalties, they see that they're getting something back in return.
Certainly, certainly. David?
Yep. You know, Van's absolutely correct. It's really building a positive relationship and understanding that you're working with the business owner. You know, it's not a manager or a district manager of a corporate-owned environment. In doing such, you know, we try to, from a consultative approach, we try to talk to them in the business metrics environment, or sitting down with them instead of talking loss prevention. We talk to them about sales-reducing activities and how to better their business through understanding the concepts of loss prevention. An example of that is what we call our deep dive program, where a franchisee will invite us in, and for several hours we'll sit down with them and show them how to properly look at the tools and the data elements that are available to them on their point of sale and back office systems, and how to look at it from a loss prevention standpoint, and tying that into the daily operational controls. Good loss prevention starts with good operations, and that's what we try to present and sell to our franchises to help them along with their loss prevention efforts.
So you're teaching them and developing them, you know, on the franchise side in order to obviously increase sales and help the overall business, obviously.
Absolutely. It's all about the profitability in the business, and what we can do is, you know, we can help to provide them with industry best practices, an understanding of what's available to them, and really support them in the concepts of loss prevention.
You know, from a crime perspective, I would imagine that, you know, armed robbery, safety, cash loss, product loss, I mean, those are really probably your four main touch points, so to speak. Are there any others, or anything you'd like to talk about other than those four, or mention?
No, it's it's no different. We do have the brand protection side, which is a completely different side of the house. But when it comes to the locations themselves, it doesn't matter if it's a corporate-owned environment or a franchise environment. The issues are still the same. It's really just the approach that we take in trying to get the business owners themselves to incorporate a loss prevention initiative.
Right. Van, you spoke about your data analytics coupled with your CCTV program in your corporate stores. Are you rolling that out in the franchise locations? And if you are, how is the reception to that?
Reception has been very well, and yes, we are rolling that out. I hate to date myself, but when I started Domino's 18 years ago, we used to have many different types of operating systems. And we had National, Breakaway, Prism. Now we have one in-house POS system. That enables us to go in and trend data, track data, and we don't really use the term audit data. What we try to do is we try to call our folks analysts, where we're trying to show how we can bring operating profit to our franchisees to, again, make our program more value-oriented for them. And in addition to just the exception-based reporting that we have in-house, like we realigned the regionals for just franchise, we also brought in a couple of analysts that do nothing but franchise reviews as well to show the value we can bring to our franchisees.
David, how does delivering LP services in a franchise environment differ than providing services in a corporate-owned or controlled location?
Well, again, it goes back to being more of a consultant and trying to guide them. We have a handful of corporate locations, not as many as Domino's may have in their world, but we do the same things where, within our corporate environment, we can work with our internal partners, HR, legal, operations, and enact programs and roll those out. But again, when it comes to the franchise networks, we really want to help to establish the best practices and the industry standards and guide them using tools very similar to the corporate environments, exception-based reporting, business intelligence, as well as CCTV systems. It's just that what we're trying to do is really provide them with the necessary understanding of how to be more profitable in their loss prevention endeavors.
What are some of the challenges in delivering LP services to franchises who are independently owned business owners and not corporately owned, given that this is a franchise relationship, and where are where you find the royalties are paid off of sales? How do you monitor and audit those sales, otherwise known as royalty assurance programs? And finally, where do you find, when you find the discrepancies, what is the process? What happens when you find the discrepancies?
Gus, one of the programs that we established about a year and a half ago with the analysts is to attempt to recognize opportunity in key indicators, such as, like most retailers, bad orders, manual price changes, voids, edit downs. And with that, what we try to do is, once we uncover a problem, we then prepare information to send to the franchisee, and we try to convince them that it's in their best interest to go ahead and do their own investigation. Now, certainly our team can work with them hand in hand, but it's really up to the franchisee to pursue that opportunity to try to uncover that loss. And one of the reports that we have in our exception-based reporting system is, it's kind of like a traffic light. We've developed a report that's like red, yellow, green, meaning that we go in and we try to evaluate a franchise business. If it hits on our key indicators as green, maybe we don't need to spend any time with that. But if it hits as red, we try to convince the franchisee, you really need to stop, you need to look at this, you need to evaluate, because you may have somebody manipulating something in your system and are actually stealing from you, which in essence then hurts their bottom line, but also can hurt our royalty stream as well.
Right. David, any?
No, we do the same thing. When we look at our business intelligence tools, we look at it from a wide variety of different types of metrics. And if we come across something that is an indicator of potential theft, against a franchisee, then we'll package that up and we'll present it very similar to what Van had mentioned. And on the flip side, we have various metrics that when we look at it, either it's across the brand or what we call a DMA, which is a district area, or a franchise network. We'll look at those, and when they hit certain indicators, then we may move into a different direction.
Well, guys, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Gus.
Thank you, Gus.
That's it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, let's keep them safe out there.